we're going to go over y and x-intercepts, or x and y-intercepts as I wrote it on the board. So we're graphing lines at this point, and let's say we have a line that looks like this. Okay. And you can see what I did is I picked 2 points and connected them. You minimally need 2, ideally more than 2. But I picked special points. I picked the points where the line crosses the x-axis and where the line crosses the y-axis. So those are x and y intercepts. And the word intercept in plain English would be like to catch. So this is if you intercept the x-axis, it's where the line catches the x-axis, which seems a little bit goofy, but a lot of the words in math tie to just plain English, so it helps if you think about that in plain English. So this right here is a point. So the x-intercept is a point, and what are the coordinates on that point? That is right 2, up and down 0. So right 2, up and down 0. Now let's do the same thing for this is a reminder, this is the x-intercept. Now we're going to do the same thing but with this point right here. Now it is the y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? Now we're going to do the y-intercept, and the y-intercept is where the line crosses the y-axis. So we're going to do the left to right first. How far left and right did we go? Well, we didn't go very far at all. And then we do the y value, which is how far up and down. We go down 3. Okay, and that's the y-intercept. So we have 2 points here, and they're really what we think of as the most important points when we graph a line, and other shapes too. So the x-intercept, let's look at it. It is to the right 2 and 0, which is kind of weird because it has an x value of 2 and a y value of 0. And the y-intercept has a x value of 0 and a y value of -3. So if I make the problem harder, and instead of giving you the graph, we do this problem, I do a similar problem, and this time I just give you the equation. Whoops, sorry, I stepped off my platform. So we just do the equation. What do we need to do? If I give you a whole brand new problem, and it's not the same problem, look at what I'm going to do here. This is a little tricky. You're going to go, so new problem, what are the x and y intercepts when I give you the equation? This is the stuff you're going to use. So let's look at 2x plus 5y equals 10. Now we know that's a linear equation because it has an x and a y, and the power on these variables is just 1. So that tells us it's a line. Now the x-intercept, don't graph it. I don't want you to do it from the graph. I want you to do it with this knowledge right here. The x-intercept has a y value of 0. So this must be 0 for the x-intercept. So I don't know that number, but for the x-intercept, I do know that number. So let's plug in the 0 and calculate the x. Okay, so I take that number, that's 5, and I'm going to put it right here. Okay? Now let's do the same thing for the y-intercept. Except this time I want to plug in the x 0 for x. Okay, it's counterintuitive, but you watched it the first time from the graph, so this time you know and you believe it works. So 2 times 0 plus 5y, this is 5y equals 10, y equals 2. Let's do that in color again. So this is a 2. Now, you can take those 2 points and graph the line with them. So it's getting a little bit tight here, but I think we can squeeze it in right here. Okay, x-intercept is 5, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0. Y-intercept, that's the vertical axis, is 0, +2. There. And we graph that line.